I appreciate that it's been over a week, almost 2 weeks now, where I haven't uploaded anything. And it's really because my mindset to life has changed as I continue to grow into my own philosophy that I'm drawing to. And when I say my own philosophy, I don't mean to claim it as if I've thought of it first. I mean as in things that resonate to me, bits and pieces from everything that I learn, and I form it into my own identity, or things that I want to identify with. I keep saying I will do a video about authenticity, but that is essentially what authenticity is. It's not that you are creating something new of yourself by scratch. That's almost impossible, because we from birth learn from our external environments, perceptions, etc., and then we pick and choose what we want. And it's the picking and choosing that is the most authentic part. I suppose this video can be an authentic video. Sorry, a video about authenticity. I'd like to think all my videos are authentic videos, because I keep going on about it. And so I know how much this channel has grown to, and I appreciate it so much. And I am aware that there are people that may be fascinated by me or their perception of me. And so they might be watching me closely and trying to figure out what my words mean when I speak in these videos, and what effects my words may have on my personal life. They can only imagine, because they don't know me. And I suppose deciphering, trying to understand me, that's quite natural in people that are observant. I'm not shaming it. I'm not victimizing myself from it. It's just I'm aware of it. But truly, the past 2 weeks, but especially the past week, in this time right now, I always practice presence, but I've come to a point in my life where I haven't practiced it as much as I have recently. I can only be my prime right now. Your prime is who you are right now. There isn't a past or future that you can say, oh, I was my best then, because it's everything you know and are being right now. That is the ultimate reach. And so when I'm practicing presence, I'm finding eternity in the now. I am living by what I say in my videos. And so from July, I had used to post videos every 5 days, because when I started this channel, I had external beliefs that social media is fickle. Well, it wasn't my personal belief, actually. It was someone that runs social media stuff and is successful from it and was giving advice, and I took it. And that is okay in the identity that I was being at, because I didn't learn up until what I have learnt now. But I felt the need to post every 5 days to get a consistency growing because of YouTube algorithms and etc. I never studied it. I was still as intuitive as I could be, but there was still some limitations. Every 5 days was getting challenging since I started a new job at that time. It's a 9-to-5 routine. And so I extended it to weekly videos. And since then, I think it may have been around, September to October, I have been posting non-stop weekly videos up until last week. I skipped it, because I have been practicing presence, where time is so elusive. And I don't know if I'm adopting some sort of an absurdist mindset, but there is a need for structure amidst the chaos. But sometimes too much structure can put so much pressure that is unnecessary. It's a healthy balance, I always say this. But sometimes you need to realize that there's no need to be so serious about trying to find organization in the chaos. If anything, that is chaotic, to even think like that, to try and order chaos. It's very deep and philosophical. But this routine that I was having, it wasn't suiting who I have started to identify as, whatever that is. I haven't put labels on it, it's just a part of my growth and evolution. But it's gotten to the point where, and I had always enjoyed doing what I do, and I still do, but I mean, I can only analyze myself from my own perception, and it's different for other people, but I definitely feel like there was more excitement in my energy in my earlier videos than my latest videos. Some people might disagree, but I think there's some truth to it. And admittedly, I can say it's because I've been practicing what I've been saying in my videos myself, and I've become a lot more calmer, more accepting, more chill. Not that I wasn't chill to begin with, but you know, it's part of the evolution, the growth. But I want to maintain quality over quantity in my videos, and having a week to research, read, prepare scripts, then film it, dress up. Editing takes quite a while. Sometimes it's enjoyable, sometimes it's not, when there's a deadline in my head that I have to post every Thursdays. And it's taking the fun out of what I intended for this channel to be for me. It was supposed to be essentially, as I learn, I share. There's a fly that just came on my nose. But yeah, as I learn, I share. And I think that is such a powerful statement. That was always how I wanted it to be. But my learning is starting to become forced for other people. And it's not healthy, it's not what I want to identify as. So why am I explaining these changes? Well, first of all, as my subscribers, it's something you deserve to know, because it's going to be a change from now on. I think something just flew into my eye. But second of all, we can learn from this. I've very much been an admirer of the Stoics. I never considered myself to be a Stoic, but I consider myself to practice some Stoic discipline. It's healthy. It's what helps you achieve things in this physical world. We didn't come here to just sit and daydream and chill, so to speak. We came here to do things, to explore, to learn, to create from a chilled manner, from an acceptance. But sometimes drive is necessary. I can feel something in my eye. Okay. But I truly want to learn and live as I go. I'm really very much in the flow of the Tao. If I had to say what I am practicing right now, it has to be Taoist ideologies, and I have been hinting this in my previous videos. But it's stronger than ever. And so, as I learn, I will share, and that is going to be me on this channel from now on. It's not going to be weekly videos. I don't want to conform to external circumstances like the YouTube algorithm, or if people stop finding me interesting because I'm not delivering content. I'm not here to serve, I'm here to express, as should everyone else, I believe. And so, yeah, this is all from presence. And within a week, even within the past 5 days, so much has happened. And it's quite natural for people that think deeply or are in higher states of consciousness and self-awareness, where they can grow much faster than the average person. It feels like a lifetime ago, even though it's been 5 days. Because you're so present in your thoughts and aware of them. And so you can act on them quicker or contemplate on them further to then make a decision to act on. I don't know if I'm waffling at this point. It's an interesting free flow talk because as much as I want to share advice and help people, I can only do that from my current state of consciousness, and this is where I'm at. I can only be authentic in what I say if I'm truly living it, and this is how I'm living it. Your prime is who you are right now. There isn't a, I'm going to be better in the future, or I used to be better in the past. It's you right now. You only have now. Time is so elusive, I cannot stress it. And everything is so perceptive. Everything is genuinely perceptions. But having things to ground yourself into reality is also important. And when I keep saying balance, but every time I say balance, I just think of the yin-yang symbol and how powerful it is. Because it's not just a left and right balance and it's stable. It's essentially fishes chasing each other in this circle. Intertwined, but still connected as one. And it's just so incredibly powerful. I don't think anyone can truly be one-sided, so to speak. I may contemplate on that further, but yeah, if I could give any advice, it truly is to be present. There's something I wrote, and I will actually read it on my phone right now. I wrote this on 17th of April. How can your reality give you the stability of your desire if you don't have the stability to be present and appreciate what you have right now? Another big lesson that I've had is the ultimate form of gratitude is presence. Being present. Whether it's with the people that are in front of you right now that you're having conversations with, or just the fact that you're sitting next to them in silence. Whether you're hearing animals, the leaves rustling, whether you're in the presence of sentient plants and animals, or just the objects in your room that are yours that you can hold, touch, feel, own, the illusion of owning. That is gratitude. I've mentioned this before, surely. When you eat, you can feel the flavors and you're present with it. You don't have to think too much about it. It's like something that Alan Watts had said. Something about when you're dancing, don't try to think about the next step that you're going to take. You just go in the flow of the dance, and I love that. That's how I see the Tao. You're dancing with it, you're riding the wave, you're holding on to something that is flowing, and you're going with that flow. You're letting it guide you. You may not be able to control the entire wave, but you can control where you sit on that wave and what your view is. I'm really making a lot of powerful statements in this video. Your attention is your currency. Time isn't your currency. Depending on your state of consciousness, when you're operating on different states of consciousness, the lower states, and when I say lower, it doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. There's no like good or bad when I say higher and lower. It just is. And we all fluctuate between them. But the lower states of consciousness, you got the illusion that money is the ultimate currency and we trade things. Then as you grow, you think it's time. How you choose to spend your time wisely. And these are all true statements depending on what consciousness, what state you're from. But I think the higher you go, and I don't know what the highest is, but right now, I think it's attention for me. I don't know where that is on the ladder. I know it's a bit higher than money and time. Because when you're present in the present moment, time is so eternal, and you truly feel it the more you practice it. So surely time isn't the currency if you can find eternity in the now. So what's the next level? There might be some things in between, but I think attention is. Reality is so perceptive. You can have something in front of you and choose to not see it. And I don't mean with your physical eyes, I mean with your internal perception. You can have the same situation to two different people and they will perceive it so differently and have and live two completely different experiences. And that is incredibly fascinating. I read a trip report, a psychedelic trip report, which is another topic I'd like to explore someday, because I know Aldous Huxley was big on it, and Frank Herbert, two writers that I admire their works of, where they saw an object on the floor, and out of curiosity, with their free will, they decided that that object doesn't exist for them. They knew it existed physically on the floor, but it didn't exist for them. And I suppose when you're on psychedelics, your barriers to the anchor of this reality, they're very much minimal, depending on how much you take, I suppose. But they reported that they were able to, they saw the flickering of that object disappearing. And that was true for them. I know this can open up such a big rabbit hole on schizophrenia and all these topics, but it's very interesting. And there are some practices in Buddhism and Taoism where their perception, they focus on meditation to then control their perception and choose it wisely, because then they get to, by choosing wisely what you're perceiving, your experiences will 100% be different. It's not that you're trying to listen to subliminals every night and try and rewire your brain and trick your brain. It's knowing that it exists. That's fine. It's choosing to perceive it differently. And when you believe in that perception long enough, or at least hold on to it, then you experience it. That you almost forget that it was there to begin with, because you shifted to the identity of the person that is perceiving so-and-so thing. I'm saying so much because I've just experienced so much recently. But there was one thing I wanted to also mention, but now it's gone past my mind, so maybe it's not meant to be said right now. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm not here to serve on this channel, I'm here to share. And so I will post, I will film, I will write when I'm supposed to, I suppose, when there's no resistance in the flow within me and around me. Because I am not feeling lack. You can't feel lack when you are operating from the present moment. It's almost impossible, because acceptance of the now is acceptance of everything and feeling interconnected with it. So what could you possibly be missing? And I swear everything becomes magnetic. I said this from the very early start of my channel in the video, you only need to breathe to manifest your desires. That's when the magic happens. I say it and it may sound cliche, but you know, you can keep thinking negatively against that. But the people that are experiencing it, they will know, and they don't need to prove it to anyone. They can only just share it, and the right time will come for the people around them. And that's kind of my mindset. I'm not here to serve, I'm here to share. I don't think there's anything else. I'm pretty much empty in thoughts for this Free Flow Talk video, but I do appreciate everyone that have been supporting this channel, of course, and have sat and watched this entire Free Flow Talk, and I hope it resonates. This might be something I'll have to play again myself. I do watch my own videos sometimes to decipher what has just come out of me. But I have been living it, and I think I haven't had time to really write it or articulate it. I do keep a journal, I do write every day, so maybe I will intellectualize it in future videos, or maybe for the next Free Flow talk just beforehand so it's fresh in my mind. But this is truly a go with the flow, non-resistance type of thing. Oh, I remember now what I wanted to say. And this is incredibly powerful actually, because you're going to have faith in something. I've said this in my previous Free Flow talk. It's impossible to not have faith, whether it's in God or in yourself or in an external circumstance. But I come from a background where I believe in a higher power, I believe in a God. Now, I don't believe in an old man sitting in the sky, watching and judging, so to speak. I kind of see it as consciousness around us, you know. In the Quran, it says, wherever you look, there is the face of God. I take that metaphysically in the sense of, you know, everything around me is made up of, you know, is an expression of God. But I'm bringing this up because when I have some sort of doubts about my desires or my purpose, I've been recently saying, God never falls back on his promises. And in the Bible, it says, you know, believe you have received it and it shall be given unto you. And I'm pretty sure in the Quran, there are passages of, of believing you already have it and you'll be given it, attached to nothing because you have everything or you are everything. And I've really been enforcing that lately in my mind. And it feels so powerful. If I have moments where I don't believe in myself or I lose faith in myself. And I'd like to say 90% of the time I do have faith in myself, but there are going to be moments where it's like that 10% where I have doubt. It's so normal. I couldn't think of anyone that has absolutely no doubt, except maybe Muhammad Ali. But I'm sure he must have had some internal conflict. I'd like to think everyone is human and that's what makes us human. But as I was saying, in the moments of doubt, where does my faith go? Because it's not in myself, right? Otherwise I wouldn't be doubting. So I place it in a higher power. And I think this is why it's so important to believe in a higher power above yourself. Because if all you believe is in yourself, which is good, but if that's all you believe in or have faith in, and I suppose I'm saying this to atheists, what happens when you slip? Where does that faith go? It has to go somewhere. Now, you can put that faith in negative circumstances. It's out of your control. It's an evolution. And to some extent, you know, it's a form of acceptance, but quite in a negative way. But what if you shifted it? And, you know, the higher power, the higher self in you is backup. And it's still a part of you as well. God never falls back on his promises. He said that it would be done, and it is. Kun fayakun, my favorite line in the Quran, be and it is. It's all about identity. Who are you being? It's not what you are doing. But what you are doing is an extended outlet of who you are being, so it is still important, but the root of it all is who you are being. So just be. How can you be? In the present moment. And when you are in presence, you accept everything. There's nothing to do, there's nothing to get, there's nothing to chase because it's all here. If you do not believe in a higher power, I truly recommend to do so because we are limited for so many reasons. We cannot always stay at the top. We're not designed that way in states of consciousness. We're always fluctuating. But what does remain is this, whether you believe that God isn't real and it's an illusion, it's still a powerful illusion to fall back on. Ultimate reality, the universe, something way above and beyond you. It grounds you, it humbles you. And it kind of reminds you how interconnected you are with other people and everything else in your life. No one's truly better than the other. In lower states of consciousness, yes, it's an illusion. And you can interact with that, but, the higher you go, the more you realize, we're all connected. And that's not to say I'm a saint, but it's something to keep practicing and keep an eye on, I suppose, in your thoughts when you're interacting with other people. This has to be one of my most unprepared free flow talks that's just been going on different topics. What have I covered so far? Authenticity, states of consciousness, believing in a higher power, the eternal now, free will, perception, currency, attention and intention. They are two powerful forces. I feel like I can keep going on, but I do need to stop. I think I've said enough. I'd let it end now and see what we can all digest from this, learn. It might take a few rewatches from myself too. But yeah, I'd like to end this video with my disclaimer that I am by no means claiming to be knowledgeable in everything, except that I am in the humble pursuit of wisdom. I normally look at the camera directly, but I am getting distracted because I'm still in presence of what I'm doing right now. So I'm looking around me, not because I'm camera shy, it's just because I'm just fully here in the now. And it's quite fun. It's quite freeing. Oh, it's so freeing. I'm going to say this now before I forget for the next video, Free Flow Talk. I would like to express my thoughts on dabbling between Stoicism, absurdism / existentialism, absurdism, and nihilism, because I've been going through a lot on that too. Remind me in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.